to win anyway. And I also assume that the designers know that and that they don't just let me recruit or do this every single turn, you know, because this is cool, right? I mean, Masters, that is a really cool card. It's just, you know, how many times do you need to do that to win the game? Like 7 or 8 or something like that.
I just
a card, and Luis is going to predict it's good, and I'm going to say it's not. And usually I'm right, and when I'm wrong, I'm like way wrong. Like remember the last one? It ended up being like the card I wanted the most.
Exhibition Stormcaller, whatever type color.
Exactly.
You have the O2 from Blue.
Yeah, and you're like, I really like this card, and it was like amazing.
Well,
Do you think this one fits that though?
Like remember the last? It's not that of you being wildly wrong on it. Well, maybe.
Well, I haven't come down on it yet, so you can't quite get me on it yet. But what I meant more was, do you think this is going to be really good?
Really good? No, I don't think it'll be really good. But when there's like a draw card theme and there's a lot of looting, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking like, there are some matchups. Like, it's not that I intrinsically love milling. It's that I lose to milling and I win with milling a lot in control matchups. It's specifically good. It turned out Strixhaven had a lot of those, and that card in specific, the Tide Color, would just like, you know, just killed him in one turn. So that was a very different thing. But I think that Masters Counselors looks like a card where if you got a couple of them, you could have something good on your hands. And in some matchups, especially if you play sideboard or sealed, maybe this card could be excellent. I would start it probably at like a
she's pretty good.
D. If you loot and mill them for 3 and then loot mill them for 3, that's if you loot and mill them for 3 and then loot mill them for 3, that's it already. That's
and I think that's actually the goal.
Yeah, maybe I'd just give it a C then.
I would give it a C plus. Here's the thing: when I see you could mill your opponent out, my brain goes to, okay, I'm going to try to kill my opponent with this card. I don't think that's going to happen with Masters Counselors very often. You have to have a pretty robust board state to be drawing that many extra cards and keeping this thing on the battlefield. Your opponent kind of has to be doing nothing. But if we take that ceiling and just lower it down a little bit and say, how about 2 mana for a 3/3 vigilance some percentage of the time? Because I do think that I can loot twice in a game, right? That's a very attainable goal. And now I've got a 2 mana 3/3 vigilance.
This is great. Honestly, it's pretty sweet. Played with it once. It's mostly an artifact thing. This girl's sweet too if you're in the ninja sub thing, because ninjas are black-white mostly. And bouncing her over and over again is pretty good. But I think I'm gonna create this. Just creating multiple vehicles is pretty cool, and it makes my vehicles fly. I haven't played with her yet, so. This is busted. This card whooped my ass twice. Oh, we do have this and this in here too, though, and I really, really like ninjas. I think I'm taking the head at Sugu. Ooh, Virtue of Persistence. Oh man, but Splinter as well. That's just mutage. I didn't know it had partner. That's neat. We also have a Watery Grave and this dude in here. I think I just take this because I don't have any removal yet. And it's really, really good, especially late game, casting it again. This card is bait. I don't think this is good. I remember I had someone's hand. They only had 1 card in it, and it was like, I think it was literally this. It was some big dumb thing, but it was the only thing I could take out of their hand. And then they cast like, I don't remember what it was, but it ultimately ended up winning them the game. So this card sucks. I'm never taking that again. Maybe. There's also that in here. We do love our fetch lands. I think I just take the fetch. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Repeatable killing stuff or a sort of okay planeswalker. She's sort of okay. He's sort of okay. I am pretty heavy blue black too. Like everything is double blue or double black. Whoops. We also have the Changeling Outcast, which is to get your ninjas in, which is fantastic, as you can imagine. God, I really want that, but they're both so good. Let's take kind of
Whatever you need, I've got
fun.
it.
It's more fun. I was listening to the Hobbit set review.
That also has this little slight wrinkle of they're probably going to want to kill it just so they don't get milled out, or maybe they'll over-index for it or get scared or something. I'm kind of in for all that. I just want to set my expectations that this isn't necessarily an alternate win condition very often, but it's a pretty solid little creature. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So I like CC plus for Masters counselors because, and the reason I'd lean towards C plus is because of what you said. There are some matchups where the milling actually does, even if you only do it twice and then they kill it, and you're like, well, this game's going to go for a while, and you're way behind on that particular race. So I like that too. It's also not legendary, so maybe you could pick up a second copy and actually turn it into a win condition.
Yeah, it's an uncommon. It's not like inconceivable that you
in a small set.
Some really good
multiples,
yeah.
Next up is Plunder the Troll Shaws. This is 1 and a blue for an instant at common. It says draw a card. If this spell was cast from a graveyard, draw 2 cards instead. Oh, there's so much good news here. Flashback, 3 and a blue. Think twice, anybody?
Oh yeah. So you cast it you cycle it, and then later you cast it 4 mana, draw 2.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
I'm
is
in for
awesome.
That sounds great.
These type of cards play really well generally, or at least they have. It's been a while since they printed one, so maybe it's a little slow for modern day, but still, I would 100% start on yes for Plunder the Troll Shaws. Also of note, it has a really cool thing where the first one you do, you can do it on your turn in addition to your draw step to trigger the stuff that we've been talking about. But the flashback you can do on your opponent's turn and get 2 cards and still trigger it. That's your... couple of Masters Counselors, a couple of Plunder the Troll Shaws, and all of a sudden that win con's starting to look a lot better. So I mean, I should not be trusted to give Plunder the Troll Shaws an actual grade because it is
everything you ever wanted to do in Magic.
It's a functional reprint of like one of my absolute favorites.
What actual grade would you give it?
I would give it a C. I think that blue wants this card. I think the ramp decks want this card. I think the draw extra cards deck need this card, and I think you'll see it. Still, spending 2 mana just to get an extra card is a cost that is not free in modern era Magic, and even the flashback of 4, to not do anything else is something you have to be careful about how many effects of that type you have in your deck. But at a common, I want this to be the first one that's in there.
Yeah, I like it. I like C+.
Yeah, let's go Plunder the Troll Shaws. Next up is...
Look, it's just... Can you imagine discarding this to recruit? Like, that's all I'm saying.
Totally. Totally. That's a real thing. It really is. I love this. I'm so glad to see this card in the set. And I do think it's legitimately a good playable card, too. Next up is Bilbo Baggins Burglar. This is 2 and a blue for a 2/1 legendary Halfling Rogue. This one's actually common. And it says, Luis, these are piling up real quick. When Bilbo Baggins enters, draw a card. End sentence. You just get a card. 3 mana, 2/1, draw a card. But there's more. It's also an adventure creature. Take a Glance is a blue sorcery adventure that lets you scry 2. This is a common, dude. This card's awesome.
So it's preordained, well, minus the card draw, and then you just cast 3 mana, 2/1, draw a card. I mean, Hero in Training was already like a A- level card, so.
Dude, I would like if we think that this set is going to produce a common or 2 at that level, this would be one of them for me. Like a B+.
Yeah.
I think I would just give it a B.
I would give it a B. That's what I
Yeah.
was gonna say. Is like I would be in for giving it a higher grade, but I think it probably does just want to be a B.
I think it wants to be a B.
So
The
good.
really cool part about it, and this is something to note for all adventure creatures, are the cost of the adventure and how it relates to the mana cost of the creature. For example, you've got Bilbo Luckwearer, which is backwards. So it's like, if you have this on turn, do you just cast it? Well, you do in the case of Bilbo Luckwearer, but that means that you're giving up on Burglar's Plot ever being.
Ninjas are open, I think. Which, if I can draft ninjas for a third time in a row, I'm gonna, man. I fucking love ninjas in this set. I think they're so good. Oh, it's too early. I'm an old man. Don't really have enchantments, not red. We'll take it anyway. I have this, I guess, but that's one of our removal spells. I would rather not discard my one enchantment. I don't really have any card draw though, so kind of that. But the Nashi, we're cooking. We're cooking. Just wish people would take pack. Why is it a Theros pack? What the fuck? I just noticed. That's funny. Ooh, Goblin Engineer. Ooh, this is really good. Oh my gosh, Chrome Mox too. Sheesh. Sheesh. Gosh, I mean, a Chrome Mox is just so good. It's like, I don't think there's power in this cube, but this is a particularly
being a thing. You know, that sucks. That is a shame. It means that Burglar's Plot is something that you either plan for or you happen to just top deck it late and it does something, and so you do that first. With Bilbo Baggins Burglar, you are effectively always going to get to cast Take a Glance, get your Scry 2, and get a 2/1 and draw the card. You're going to get all of it almost every single time that you draw Bilbo Baggins Burglar, and that really does bump it up too. Dude, these blue cards are sweet.
Yeah, I mean,
Next is
this card just looks like a one that we're just going to cast over and over again. It's going to be awesome.
this next one.
So good.
No, Bilbo Baggins.
Oh, Bilbo
Burglar,
Baggins,
like,
totally, dude. That card, that the fact that that's
is a legend,
common
I guess.
is just unbelievable. Yeah, there you go. Next up is,
this might.
does that say Confusticate?
I'm not sure.
Confusticate and
be
be bother. It's obviously like tokenisms.
Okay, good. I didn't know that. I thought it was going to say Confiscate, but I'm like, that's not what that says, right? Confusticate and be bother. 2 and a blue for an instant at common. Choose one. You've got two options. First option is counter target spell unless his controller pays 4, but you're paying 3. The other one is, there it is again. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Yeah, you know, I keep going back to the Lakeshore Apothecary, Luis, and like since we read that card,
this is really good.
we have had 3 cards that enable it out of the 4. And by the way, the other one was one that also wants you to draw extra cards. So I'm starting to think that the drawing extra cards actually is something that you're going to be able to do like a lot of the turns if that's what your deck is built around, and that makes me a little higher on the Apothecary. What do you think about
And the
Confused
Master's
Cicada?
Counselors, I would imagine as well.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Those 2 cards want you to draw, and then the next 3 cards all enable it, at least, and maybe the next one will too. You never know.
I like
Sometimes that's fucking just
Confuscate
not
and be bother as like probably like a C, just because
consistency.
you would
is
like to
important.
use it for the counter mode, but then you have the
Do like
backup
a
of not
bone
using it that way if you don't need to.
bone shards is
Yeah, this
pretty
is one of those
dang
ones where if
good.
you pass with 4 mana
That
up,
was more life gain. This
you just
card,
get to choose.
I
Am I going
had
to
it
counter the
once,
thing you
and
do? If you don't
unfortunately,
do anything or
never
it's not
got
worth
to
countering, I'm
prompt
going
it,
to filter through
but
my
I
deck
mean,
a
you
little
just get
bit.
to make a bunch of
I
mock
think the
pearls.
warning
It
that I
just
would
seems
say
crap.
about a card like this is that
We'll take
you can
the
only
shots
have
off.
so many of these, like these more
The
reactive.
boring smart pick.
It's
Dig through
either
time
a
is
counter
good.
spell or it's
Kira
kind of
might be a
air,
call
right? And
here
like you have to
since
be
we're
careful
so
about how many of
blue and
those you
black.
play.
I might just get rid of this for
Um,
blue.
I give it a C-
we don't
for
really need
Confusticate
that,
and be
no.
bother.
Yeah. I like
Uh,
C minus. That's fine.
Next up is Elven
Need some more
Raft
invasive
Steerer. This is
creatures,
2 and a blue
couple
for a
really good
3/2
lands.
elf pilot at uncommon with landfall.
Charter
Whenever land you control enters, choose one. You can either
Riding
tap
Palm
target
Ninja is
creature an
pretty
opponent
damn
controls or
good.
untap target creature you control.
Super need to get some lands.
These ones are hard to grade, right? Because, you know, you kind of want to be doing
that'll do.
something silly to make it really worth it. The tapping your opponent's
we take
creature,
the
that's pretty nice.
underneath?
You know, just play a land, get a thing out of the way, maybe
Probably,
enable some
yes.
attacks.
In
I'm
case we
kind
wanna
of
play it.
the reason that I'm not like
Do love
really
it
excited about that
quite a
is
lot.
because so far
And
blue
look at
has felt like it
these.
either wants to be ramping or drawing
Oh,
extra
I mean,
cards,
evoke
and
despair,
neither of
not
those
me,
is a
not me.
very assertive strategy where, you know, the tempo of
Yeah,
tapping your
tapping
opponent's
their
creature.
creatures
Four
down
mana
is
to kill
just not
something
really
kinda
going to help
sucks.
you
Right.
that
We're
much. I
really
don't
not
think.
gonna.
Right.
We'll have maybe 3 mana kill something.
So I would start off a little low
Or
on the
5
Raft
mana.
Steer. There could be some cool
bunch of
combos though, so I'd keep my eyes open for them. But I'd probably
Ooh,
start it
yo,
off at like D
yo, I
plus,
knew
C
they would
minus
wheel.
level.
I like it.
don't know
I like
which
it
one I
at around.
want.
Yeah, I would
The
say C
equipment
minus
is
just because.
probably
Maybe there's
fine.
something cool.
Yeah, and if you have a creature that taps for
Just getting all
good
my
for
stuff
mana
in
or
Madness
something,
and
this
then
could
sticking
ramp
stuff
you
on my
pretty
graveyard.
nicely.
There you go. Yeah, like that'd be a
Good.
cool one already. Next up is Enchanted Rivers Grasp.
Kinda
This is 2 and a blue
sucks.
for an enchantment aura at common. It says
Also
enchant creature
kinda
when this aura enters,
Um,
tap enchanted creature and remove all counters from it. And it says enchanted creature loses all abilities and doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. We talked about some of the sacrifice abilities that are out there, and
Come on over here,
we did
ally.
see in
Oh,
white
yeah,
that
what
there
is
was
the
an
blue
Oblivion
removal
ring,
spell?
which if you have the sacrifice thing down and it's instant speedable, you could get a little something out of it. But this is a even better example
Hey, she
because you
came
can draw
back
it
to me.
later. It is kind of interesting though. It actually kills armies, right?
I'll take it
Yeah.
and
Which
play
is-
it later.
which is actually
I'll put it over here just 'cause I don't
Better
have
if you're
left
the
my
army
board.
controller that it's
That is
Yes,
dead.
this is
very good
intentional
turn
because
one
if
play.
what they try not to do is, and you notice that the Mountain
This
King's
is one
thing
of the best
also
engine to bounce in this set.
exiles, right?
Mhm.
They don't want you put an enchantment on an army and it is locked down, and then every amass card just keeps adding to their lockdown creature.
Ooh,
Exactly.
Ooh,
That-
damnation
That is
pretty
really not
good.
what they want. So
Love a damnation.
I think that the River's
Creature
Grasp
blah, blah, blah,
is
blah, blah,
is
blah,
templated
blah.
for that reason.
Exactly.
Like I think that's the main reason it does that instead of
Yeah.
like, I don't think they cared that much about
Exactly.
about removing the counters. It was just like, oh, this just works poorly with armies if we don't solve this.
That's right. It's kind of funny. But you know, if you happen to have some random green creature with some counters and then they free it up later, you do have the counters. I mean, this is a clean blue removal spell. This is how they do it.
Yeah, no, I
just
think
don't have that much
it's gonna play great.
removal,
It's
so
gonna
it's
be
Yeah.
like a C plus level removal spell,
Yeah.
and you're gonna
Ooh,
always be happy to play
Kaido.
it.
That's right. Next up is Mirkwood
Ooh,
Meditator.
damn,
This is 2 and a blue for a
The
2/4
housewarming
elf
party
druid.
has a
At common, it has landfall. You may have this creature's base power and toughness become 4/2 until end of turn. Yeah, I just don't like the Raft Steer and the Meditator. These feel a little lost for the armies. I think they might find themselves.
I'm not buying that. There's a blue beatdown deck. Not quite yet.
No, I'm gonna need to get beaten down by that probably. I would give it a D. for Mirkwood
23.
Yeah,
Meditator.
I like D for the Mirkwood Meditator.
Don't super need the fixing.
Again, another just all-timer title of a card here. This is Old Fat Spider Can't See Me. It's a saga at uncommon. It's 2 and a blue, and it has 4 chapters. Chapter 1, the one you get right away, is target creature you control
Except
gains
those. We need
hexproof
blue
for
black
as
lands
long
with
as this saga
beams.
remains on the battlefield. So not much. Chapter 2 is prevent all
It's got
damage.
4 chapters.
It does have 4. Chapter 2 is prevent all damage that would be dealt by up to one target creature for as long as this saga remains on the battlefield. Man, I really wish that was the first one. But okay, fair enough. Chapter 3 and 4, they're the same, and they're really good. They're draw card.
Exile target creature, planeswalker, return.
Man,
if you control
starts
target
off
creature,
slow,
return
but it does
to
get
field.
cooking.
Kind of like this.
This is enough,
I don't really care
right?
that much
Like
about
the chapter
four
1
mana
is
making
feels
discard a card.
more or less as a throwaway.
Investigate.
But chapter 2 very much counts. You know, just whatever their biggest thing is, neutralize it for a few turns, and then you end up getting your cards out of the deal without having to spend mana on the turn to get the cards. And you're going to be triggering all the things that you want to trigger with the draw an extra card. You're going to have all your mana available to spend on the cards that you draw. This card to me seems worth it. Though I am only thinking of it in terms of I'm playing this on turn 3.
It's looking pretty good.
If it does come down later, it gets really slow.
The smaller sets, because sometimes they're pretty all right.
I mean, maybe like you cast it, the chapter 1 does nothing, but then chapter 2 locks down their creature for
that really sucked.
2 of their attacks.
I mean, okay,
like they can't attack with it, and then you get to draw a card, and you get to draw another card.
We like Teenage Mutant Ninja
It's close enough for me. Yeah.
I think that you would be fine with it. Like, obviously, it is better if you can get it down early, but like, I think that you'd be totally fine casting this on turn 6. You get to you just have to fade 1 turn of attacks. Also, what if they don't have a good attacker? You cast this, then they play a good attacker, then you get to choose that creature.
It's true.
The next one.
It's just funny that like in that scenario, I could see it being okay. The hexproof actually matters because now I can guarantee a chump block. You know, so that I can survive to 2 where your good attacker is no longer a good attacker, and then I can try to come back from this game by drawing cards. I mean, this is my kind of card 100%, but we have to factor in that in many scenarios, you're paying 3 mana and you're getting effectively nothing for it, and that does matter in the current day and age. So you have to be aware of that. I do agree with what you said. I think that this card does give you enough play to pay you back.
Yeah, that's most of it.
I would say it's probably like a C+. I want to give it a B range because I like it and it's interesting.
No, you're allowed to give it a B.
Am I?
Yeah.
Because no one else is getting lands when you steal that.
Yeah, I just don't want to cast it and then die that turn and be like, how did I ever do this?
Well, I mean, that can happen, certainly, but I think that for the most part, like getting 2 cards plus stopping 2 of their attacks plus giving a creature hexproof, that's a pretty good amount of stuff in total.
It's cute.
Okay.
It's cute.
I'm going to go B- then. I'm going to hedge a little bit. You want to give it just straight up B?
I would just give it a B. I think
next
the
up
card's going to play fine.
Yeah, sound the trumpets. This is 1 blue for an instant. Counter target spell. Oh, it's uncommon, by the way. Counter target spell. If that spell's mana value was 2 or less, recruit.
The Kaido at this point. We don't.
So it's cancel, but you can also
to be honest,
get a recruit if you countered something cheap.
Yeah.
All right.
You're 1
kind of in for that.
I'm kind of in.
I mean, I like cancel. It's just it doesn't always work out to put the card in your deck, and getting a little bit of upside off of it is kind of nice, though.
I think I take
it doesn't really save you in the spots where cancel's bad. Is kind of my only problem.
That is an issue. I think where I would come down on sound the trumpets is
especially when
if I have other things that I can do at instant speed in my deck that I could reliably, like let's say 3 other things. So I can leave up sound the trumpets and have a backup plan at least some chunk of the time where I'm like, well, okay, you didn't do anything. I'm going to play Plunder the Troll Shot, right? I have a flash creature. I'm going to put that into play. Something like that. Because I don't think you have a lot of room for counter spells that are this mana intensive in your deck. And you have to be really careful about it. I think I would have sound the trumpets at a D+, like just on the other side of your 23rd card, but sometimes gets in there if your deck kind of supports it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably like just straight up a playable card in sealed, though.
In sealed, definitely. And sealed matters a lot these days.
Yeah, like this looks like probably like a C+ level card in sealed, if
definitely.
I had to guess.
I like it a lot there. Next up is Long Lake Nuisance. This is 3 and a blue for a 3/1 bird at common. It's got flying, and when it enters, recruit. Yeah, they just put so much recruit out here.
Yeah, I mean, 4 mana, 3/1 flyer. I kind of like this because a 3/1 is a really good stat line for a flyer because you're just not that worried about. You're not getting chumped by tokens on the ground. Things that burn you are probably going to kill you if you're a 3/3 or a 3/1. So you're basically like not putting power points into your toughness, which is nice. You just want the good attack, and then this gets you a creature on the ground as well most of the time.
Yep.
I like this. This looks like a C.
It does to me too.
Happy to play the nuisance.
Yeah, triggers all your stuff. Next up is Ravenhill Flock. This is 3 and a blue for a 1/2 bird at uncommon. It has flying. And it says, whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Man, these have been bad for so long, but dude, we have so many ways just in blue here to see extra cards. Is this the one that'll get over the hump? I mean, this is the classic trap card.
Okay.
Yeah, these cards, they basically never work.
Yeah. I would assume that this one won't either. I would give it a D for Ravenhill Flock. I would love it if it was better than that. But the problem, of course, is that you are ultimately paying 4 mana for a 2 toughness creature that your opponent gets your turn plus any sorcery speed, their turn stuff to take care of. And if they do, you're almost guaranteed to be behind.
Yeah. And even when this starts to get going, then they kill or bounce it because they're like, oh, okay, you had your fun. I'm going to do that now.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a 4-power creature. Now I'll kill it.
Yeah.
I would say D for Ravenhill Flock. It's a trap.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there are matchups where it could be good for sure, but I think that for the most part, this card is just too big of a risk these days. All the stuff that we've talked about before, like kind of applies here too.
And it probably sounds like we're hammering that point because we are. That is the thing, as we've grown with Limited and adapted to how it plays now versus how it's played in the past in different eras. That is the thing that has stood out the most. So that's why we keep talking about it. Next up is Uneasy Partings. This is 3 and a blue instant. It's common. It says, this spell costs 1 less to cast if target's an attacking non-token creature. What does it do? Target creature's owner puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library. They love this. I mean, they've given us variations on this for years now, and they have been good.
Oh yeah, it's their favorite thing though.
I would give it a C+, and I would assume that it is a solid playable card that you'd like to have in your blue deck.
I agree. It's going to be good.
Yep. Next up is Gandalf Wandering Wizard. This is 4 and a blue for a 4/5 legendary Avatar Wizard at common.
Oops, did I fuck up? Hold on.
Ward 3. That's a lot of ward. And then the activated ability, 6 mana. Gandalf's owner shuffles him into their library.
How do I fix this?
And draws 3 cards. Poof. He disappears, but he leaves a little treasure for you.
Yeah, he leaves treasures back. 5 mana, 4/5. Ward 3 is
Ward
a kind of
3
nice
is
ward
a
number.
lot. It's 5 toughness and Ward 3. I'm like, I'm kind of thinking he's going to survive the turn here.
Yeah, and then if they do, it's not like you're in the biggest hurry to spend a bunch of mana, like shuffling this in to draw cards.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was going to ask you.
Move them up here.
It's kind of a nice option to have.
The play pattern isn't pay 5, go. He survives. Land number 6, cash him in.
Move them
right? Like you're giving up so much onboard presence and mana to get those cards. So what is the scenario? Like. Sure, your opponent targets it with something and then pays the Ward 3, and then you go, I'll pay 6. I mean, that's just never going to happen like that. So what is the scenario?
The scenario with this is that you just have this in play. It hasn't died or anything, and you don't really have like a better...
like it can't attack.
You don't have like a better thing to do with it, I think is really...
And so on end step, you say, screw it, I'm going to dump my 6 mana into this.
That's almost...
Cards. Okay.
Yeah, end step I think is likely going to be exactly when that happens.
It's really tough, man, because you are giving so much up to get those 3 cards. Because at that point in the game, let's assume one of them is a land and 2 of them are spells. One of them is probably going to be a 2 or 3 mana spell, something in that range, because that's the majority of your deck. And then if you're lucky, you might get a 4, 5, or 6 out of the other part. Well, those all have to be better than a 4/5 on the battlefield with Ward 3, which is admittedly not amazing, but it's on the battlefield. You already paid the 5 mana for it. It's cool. It's kind of interesting. I'm interested, but my gut is saying this is probably not a responsible place to dump 11 mana to draw 3 cards.
Well, I wouldn't really think of it as 11 mana, because I would mostly think of it as you got Gandalf into play, and now it's just an additional ability that you can use on a card. You're not really playing it for that card. You're playing it because it's a 5 mana legend that's pretty hard to kill. And given enough time, it actually gives you a pretty strong, like, late game thing to do.
That is the one thing that I like about it, is that We've seen that blue wants ramp payoffs, and if you do have a ton of mana, you know, drawing 3 cards is a great thing to do late in the game. D plus for Gandalf Wandering Wizard.
I would just give it a D. I think.
D. Next up is Lake Town Mariners. Go Mariners. 4 blue for a 6/5 human citizen at uncommon. It's got Vigilance and Ward 2. So uncommon, 6 mana, 6/5 Vigilance, Ward 2. But it's also an
They're
adventure.
putting Ward a little bit more often on their big creatures. That part can be nice.
Yeah. That can help mitigate this whole thing that we've been talking about for
They
a
could
couple of years
lightning
now.
bolt.
It's also an adventure creature. Has Gone Fishing, which is 3 and a blue for an instant adventure. It says exile 2 target creatures and or lands you control, then return them to the battlefield under their owner's control.
Yeah. Really good with that.
Yeah, maybe just
kill that.
re-triggering recruit on a couple of
Sucks, but
things
that's
or
fine.
something like that.
Stop after
Yeah.
Like
Could be safe.
save a guy and get an extra recruit trigger. You know, something like that maybe. I mean, they are untapped under their owner's control, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you can push something.
And also, this isn't living in the adventure zone. They don't know you have this card
They
till you
do have
cast
the
it, so
burst
it could just be like a
lightning,
combat trick of
Raphael,
sorts.
Exactly. Yeah, there's something here, right? I mean, that is a interesting card to have access to. You wouldn't put Gone Fishing in your deck just as an standalone, but
No.
there's something there.
Get rid of the enduring curse.
Save your creature from removal, reset it, get an additional ETB trigger of some sort, and it does target 2 things.
It's a card. It's a
Yeah,
card. Yeah.
it's a card.
I think the once you combine save from removal, untap to block, double chump.
Yeah,
and
double chump save them. Yeah, yeah.
Again?
It also, because it targets a land, you can just cast it, targeting a creature on a land 3. And then
That's
you,
weird. I think
Yeah,
that's
okay.
yeah, and then you
Gaming.
also end up with, at the end of it, a 6/5
All
vigilance.
Impulse?
These are 2 mediocre cards. But God, it does kind of feel like they combine enough to be a real card. I would go C on Lake Town Mariners, and yeah, I would give it a C and assume that even though neither card are ones that would be really exciting to put in your deck, maybe both together would be. It's a lot of there's a lot to do with Gone Fishing plus Lake Town Mariners, like in a ramp deck.
I
Think
think
C.
that if this was a common, I would again be a little lower on it. It looks like, you know what? There's got to be something
There's
here.
gotta
It's
be
just
something.
the possibility space is too large. I'm going to give Lake Town Mariners a C. I think that it could end up easily in a D, in the D kind of range, but I think that it's going to be a C.
Last blue card is Thranduil's Decree, which is 4 blue for an instant and uncommon. It says counter target spell, good old 6 mana counter spell. If a permanent spell is countered this way, exile it. Instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost for as long as it remains exiled. Holy smokes.
Can't deal with the planeswalker, but
God,
really
are they going to get me to cast a 6 mana counter spell? If it counters a creature, I just get it?
Yeah, if you leave the mana up for this and you snipe them, you get them pretty nicely. And if you don't, it's really bad. It's really bad.
I'm trying it.
I mean, in best of one world, this card looks a lot better. They just
sexy right now.
Wait, if you leave 6 mana up on Arena, your opponent's just casting their best card then on the next turn.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be so devastating when they tap 6 mana and it's just like X spell and it's just like you're not getting a permanent.
You still counter it. You know, you're still going to counter it, I guess. But that is not what you signed up for when
I
you put
like-
this in your deck.
I like C on Thranduil's Decree, but honestly, it's going to be an F or an A. It's really not going to be in between. You're going to leave mana up, and they're not going to play anything, or they're going to play something bad, or it's just going to be too expensive and you're going to cast it, or you're going to cast it and on a 4-drop and win the game by so much. Because it's like a huge swing. So it's a kind of funny card. It's
like
going to
it.
be a card that's going to feel like bad beats, I'll tell you that.
Definitely. Yeah, I like it though. All right, that'll move us to black, our last color, where our first card is Night Howl Pursuer. This is black for a 1/1. It's a wolf at uncommon, and it has menace, and it has ferocious whenever it attacks, blah, blah, blah. This creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Wow, that's aggressive. I like that.
Yeah.
Big boy, so I can.
I mean, I like the one drops that reward ferocious. Those look pretty fun, both to play and in terms of like gameplay. They look like they make some interesting decisions, and just getting one drops into these decks is cool. So yeah, this looks great. This looks like
It does to me too.
It's just the way that you're going to really be able to push some aggro if they, if they don't stop you from getting a full power creature.
That's right, because I mean, it scales well with the game, right? Like it chips in for one for multiple turns while your opponent's getting set up, and then on turn 3 or 4, when you actually get a 4-power creature, now it's slamming hard. I like that. Next up is Stir Up Trouble. This is also just black mana for a sorcery, though it's common. It says, destroy target creature, but as an additional cost to cast it, you have to sacrifice an artifact or a creature or pay for. We've had different versions of all of these things, and now it's just whichever one you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems good to me.
But on the plus side, it doesn't give you any additional benefits. It only kills a creature. It's just to destroy. There's nothing.
No exile. My guess is that your first Stir Up Trouble is quite valuable. That
to make sure
we've seen, a little bit of sacrifice. We've seen the orc armies, goblin armies, that type of stuff. Expendable. We've been looking for ways to make like a 1/1 army into something a little better, and then replace it later and kind of get max value. And Stir Up Trouble seems like a great way to do that.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I like C+ for Stir Up Trouble. Looks like a pretty efficient removal spell.
Desolation Power is next, 1 in a black for a 2/2 wolf at uncommon. Has an activated ability of pay 2 life. This creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn. Oh man. What was it? The Leech?
Yeah, this card's pretty putrid, I would say.
Yeah, agreed.
But no, it's a putrid leech, easier to cast, very strong. This not only is threat of activation, but just also actual activation. So if you play this on turn 2, you attack, they're not going to block because you could pump it. Then you should still probably just pump it.
Oftentimes you're just going to block.
Just paying 2 life to make them lose 2 life is pretty good when you're already hitting them. You're the one who's attacking with your 2/2. So, I mean, yeah, this card's great.
This card's insane. B+ for Desolation Prowler.
I like B+. When your opponent plays this on turn 2, it's just going to be such a drag. You're like, okay, well, I guess...
it's hard to attack into.
Yeah, I guess I'm priced into taking 12 off this, and then hoping that I can do something to take it down. Obviously, it's not like an unbeatable card or anything like that, but it is quite strong.
No, and it sits on the correct side of what we've been talking about there with the mana exchange, in that it only costs 2. So almost every time your opponent kills it, they're going to have to spend as much mana as you did, or sometimes even more.
And also, by the way, 4 power, like
yes,
like Garfield intended.
So main phase, pump it, and then get your attack on with your ferocious stuff. Yeah, this is cool. Next up is Front Porch Sentries. This is 1 in a black for a 2/2 Goblin Soldier at common. And it says when it dies, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn.
Oh, I really like this. It's making me wonder, why have we never seen a 2-mana 2/2 version of this effect?
Yeah.
We've seen the 1-mana 1/1 version of the effect so many times. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, C+, solid card.
Yeah.
We'll do some good blocks.
The 1-mana version's good, and I bet you this one's even better. Next up is Golem. Oh no, the Abandoned. It's 1 in a black for a 2/2 legendary halfling horror. It's uncommon. He can't block, being cowardly and all. When Golem enters, exile up to 1 target card from an opponent's graveyard. Each opponent loses 2 life. And then it says you can pay 2 mana and sacrifice an artifact or creature to return this card from your graveyard to your hand.
I think I just lose regardless of shit.
2-mana 2/2, can't block, real drawback there. Eat something and makes them lose 2 life. and then you can get it back by sacking artifact or creature, which
How do you
the idea,
mitigate the not being able to
Good
block?
game.
Is it
You're not going anywhere.
the idea is that you're just getting to attack them.
That's a really cool design. Like
We almost
it feels like he's sort of shifting around in the graveyard. He is
Yeah.
running away and can't block. He keeps coming back and showing up again, even though you're kind of like, why are you here?
Yeah.
But that said, man, it takes a lot to overcome a creature that just straight up can't block. You know?
There's just a lot of, like, you might think, like, oh, I'm the aggro deck, that's not going to be that big of a deal. It often matters, and it is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, limited isn't the same way as constructed, where you can kind of define your role before you sit down to play and realistically have a chance of being in that role. Most, the majority of games you play, or like a big majority of games you play, limited often is, people are playing some version of a
technically we
mid-range
can
deck,
make
whether
it
it's a
work.
more assertive one or a more controlling one, and you'll often find yourself on the defensive, even in a deck that you thought was a more offensive-minded deck, and cards like this just suffer really badly.
I feel like I'm gonna super
Yeah.
regret not keeping.
I think if you were
often.
aggressive, you would always play this card.
Yes. I think if you are planning to be aggressive, you do want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think if you're
But
not aggressive,
We're
then this card
curving,
becomes more of a liability than a like.
he doesn't want to.
Like C minus. Is it an F?
Is it a builder on aggro card? Like, wouldn't
Yeah.
this card be? Wouldn't this card be like a B on an aggro deck? Like a B minus?
C minus, C plus, yeah.
Let's be more specific. An aggro deck that also has a decent amount of sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice. It's a good thing to sacrifice it also. Sacrifice outlet. I'm gonna go D plus on Golem the Abandon
Oh.
on average, and I think in an aggressive deck it's a C or a C plus.
Yeah, I like C plus in an aggro deck, but I think overall that does not lead to a very high grade of a card. I agree.
Raven Wing Ward is next. It's 1 in the black for a 2/2 wolf. It's a common. It's got Death Touch and
yes, no green man and only
ferocious.
green cards.
You
What
gain
happened
2
here?
life.
What happened
When
here,
it
dude?
attacks.
When it attacks. Yeah.
So far, all of the
That's
ferocious
rough.
have been when it attacks. Are there
My hand was back keeping on the black
Yeah,
card.
I think that's
Okay,
Black
I
mana.
know before there weren't, but
Yeah.
I've been trying to avoid
That's
shortcutting it,
rougher
but literally
Yeah.
every one has been whenever this
rough.
creature attacks, that whole mouthful. So 2/2 Death Touch, Ferocious Attack, gain 2 life? Sure. It's
Yeah.
also a wolf? Maybe that matters.
2 mana 2/2 Death Touch, and then getting some life when you attack later is great. I would
Yeah.
give this a C.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Solid. Next up is
need a cup of
Stony
coffee.
Voiced Goblins. This is 1 in a black for a 1/1 Goblin Bard at common. It says, when this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. I normally love these cards, and I don't see why I wouldn't here. It's also good
In fact,
fodder.
I was going to say even better. There's like a pretty strong sacrifice theme, so this looks
Yeah.
like a great place for it.
I like C for Stony Voiced Goblins. This looks like a solid playable.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up is Bilbo's
This might be
Deadly
a C plus, honestly.
C plus, maybe?
I think
Sure.
it is quite strong.
C plus for
Ooh,
Stony Voiced
shit.
Goblins. Next up is
Surveil
Bilbo's
one or
Deadly
strike,
Slice.
dude?
This is 1 black for an instant to common, and it says destroy target creature. And I'm really liking some of the core set vibes that this is giving.
Yeah.
Like
They
these,
kept the card simple, which I
Simple
think is
design.
really smart, especially if these, the universes, to be honest, typically I think trying to appeal to new audiences and whatnot.
I like that a lot. That said, how do we like Bilbo's Deadly Slice? Because 3 mana is the right amount of mana for this effect to make it, a desirable removal spell. It is double black, so it's a little difficult to cast. Like, does it get up into the B range? I guess?
Probably like a C plus, maybe a B minus.
what I was thinking,
I could see it landing either way.
Crude Bent Blade is next. This is 2 in a black for an artifact equipment at common. And it says, when this equipment enters, target opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. And then the equipment gives the equipped creature +2/+1, and the equip cost is 2. So this is just an equipment. They just tacked on an edict to it. It's pretty
Just like the spear, the tormenting voice spear. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it is. And I like that, and I like this too. 3 mana edict. How do you feel
Come on,
about that?
Pom-Pom
That's a little
Gotta fight.
not desirable, yeah. But you know, equip 2 and
Found a way
the
in.
equip creature gets +2/+1. That is what you want from equipment. Adding power, a little bit of toughness goes a long way.
I really did not want to discard that.
Gosh, I kind of like it. What's the
Hoping we would draw some
downside?
shit. We drew good stuff.
The downside, the main downside of this is that if you run into a matchup where Edict is bad and I mean, Orc armies recruit tokens, like I feel like Edicts are just not going to be very good in this format. That's the downside, I think.
C-.
I would give Crude Blade a D.
All part of my
I
plan.
think that
You're
I
really
just
down
think
on the
that-
edict side.
I just don't think that you should start from the spot of like, oh, an Edict, because I just don't know.
And this does reflect what we were talking about earlier with the like
Board
2
four?
mediocre
That thing
cards.
is
Do they
board
combine to be
4?
a good card? In this
What?
case, maybe not.
Yeah.
Next up is
What?
Down to Goblin Town. This is an enchantment
Down,
saga at uncommon. It's 2 and a black for a 4-chapter saga. The first chapter is target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Good start. Chapter
me,
2 is
Papa Chan.
Amass Goblins 1. So you get a little bit of onboard material. That's nice. Chapters 3 and 4 are the same, and they are target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I kind of like these uncommon, let's not go crazy sagas. You know, they're pretty fair, right? But this is, you're getting some stuff out of this. Yeah.
I mean, you get a like how happy would you be for a 3 mana 1/1 to make them discard any card and you get greater for 1? That card would be awesome. You'd be very happy.
Or drain them for 2 in this case.
Trust me.
Oh, because sorry,
from,
yes, the
yeah.
double chapters.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, when you put it that way, if I got it all up front, I would be thrilled. And this isn't that far off. Like you're effectively always getting the drain. Like it's really
You're getting
hard.
the most important one first, which is the
Yes.
dress. That is the one you do want to make sure you hit first. And then you're after that you're getting your amass, and then you're getting your drain, and you're getting your drain again. Yeah, no, I'm totally in for this card. This looks like a B to me.
B.
Like I would just be thrilled to play this. I mean, I agree with you. This saga's not going to end the game. Your opponent plays this, you're not going to feel like, oh, I just lost. But it is a pretty cool card.
The
Like
housewarming
yeah.
party has
it's gonna have
arrived.
some good play to it, I think.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm kind of now when I see a saga, I'm like, oh, here we go. It's gonna flip into some bomb, and it's gonna, it's like it's okay to just have a nice little uncommon saga that does some cool stuff. Next up is Gnashing of Teeth. This is 1 black
Oh my
black for a
God.
sorcery. It's uncommon, and it says choose 1. You've got 2 options. You can have target creature get -5/-5 until end of turn, and if it would die this turn, exile it instead.
Invoke the spirit.
Or
That'd be
you can
nice.
have creatures target player controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Wow, that is a
another
nice
way
one.
out.
Catch-all removal spell, and then in the rare case where you can kill 2 or 3 things from the other side, or you can engineer some combat or something weird. You can get that blowout, but that's tacked on here. This is very much a modern era card, a best of 1 style card, but I like it.
Yeah, no, I think this card is going to play out very nicely. I'd probably give it like a B minus. Like,
Really?
the
You
fact
would
that
go
it's
to
a
B?
sorcery speed, I think, is a
Follow
pretty
me,
big
Papa
deal.
Chan.
Yeah, but kill anything for 3 mana and it exiles. That often ends up being a big deal too. And then in the times when you're playing against like some go wide white deck
We
and you
got
get 3
this,
or 4
Papa
things with
Chan.
this, and it's just a complete like the best card.
B seems fine then, yeah.
Great Fierce Bee. This is like literally an insect. It's 2 and a black for a 2/2 flying insect at common, and it says whenever 1 or more other creatures die, so not just yours, scry 1.
All right. I mean, I'm interested in some free scrying. What is that enough to make me play a
Steal
3
my
mana
marks.
2/2 flyer?
No tap.
I'm not like thrilled about the prospect. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, nerd.
I'm not either. 3 mana
I
2/2
just-
flyer. It's been a while since that was good enough on its own.
Yeah. guess I'd probably give it like a D.
Yeah, probably D or D plus. It's sad.
It also doesn't really further like the themes of the set that well. I wouldn't feel like.
I guess just the sacrifice thing is a little bit. But
Yeah, but Scry 1 isn't enough of a carrot to really build around that part either.
Next up is Rage into the Valley. This is 2 and a black for a sorcery. It's common. It says you draw a card and lose a life.
Just give up.
Amass
You can't
goblins
win.
too. I like that. So you get a little board presence and you get a card out of the deal. Would you rather go down to Goblin Town or into the Valley?
1/1 Thopters or
Down to Goblin Town. Just getting a card out of their hand right away is way better than you draw a card and lose a life.
Definitely.
And then getting 2 is better than giving 1, sure. And then getting drain 1 and then drain 1 again, probably better than the second counter. So yeah, I would say overall it is better.
Still, yeah.
We do have unlimited.
2/2 draw a card, lose a life.
Oh, you're still happy with this card.
C plus.
It's funny that a mass, I would give it a C plus, yeah. It's funny that a mass can be like, it's an interesting mechanic. It's not just make a 2/2.
No.
Sometimes it's better than that. Sometimes it's worse than that. Sometimes it's just different than that.
Right.
Like,
It is.
the first time you amass, obviously it's just making the token, but then every subsequent time it's all very different. So,
Right.
I don't know.
Next up is Reverent Howl. This is 2 and a black for an instant at common. And it says choose one. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Or target creature gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink
We can't
until end of turn.
stop.
And it's an
We're
instant.
in the air right now.
Look, you gain a life or you lose it. Convert into cards, or it's a pretty bad combat trick, but it's stapled onto a decent card draw spell.
think
These
I've
cards
ever
both draw cards and lose life
ulted
for 3 minutes. It's
before.
kind of funny. But
You can bounce it.
I think this is gonna not. You know, I like that they're making more flexible cards, and I think that there's some cool things to it. And I understand trying to get around like the best of one conundrum. You know, where they want to make sideboard cards, but everyone just plays best of one. I still think that the like flexible cards are just kind of losing out to the powerful cards generally.
Yeah, they are.
I haven't felt that long for a long time that like, oh well, this at least does 2 different things. It's like, yeah, but they both suck, and that's fine. You know,
Yep.
we don't need to be doing 2 different things. As it turns out.
Yeah, exactly. And they're trying. I mean, the effect
you
of
attack another
+2/+2 and
DM?
lifelink is strong. It's just 3 mana's a lot.
Whenever an artifact creatures you control
D
attacks,
for
that's
Reverend Howl.
pretty
Yeah, I would
good.
give it a D. Like, yeah, there definitely will be times when this card is good, but I don't think it's a card that you should really be taking early or anything.
Next up is Gathering of Darkness. This is 3 and a black for a sorcery at uncommon. Return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. But wait, there's more. Amass Goblins 3.
So it's a 4 mana 3/3 Gravedigger.
Yep.
I think that's pretty sweet.
That is really
Already
good.
in a 2-color deck, dude. I thought it'd be a little easier to cast.
The first one of these is, and it's uncommon too. Yeah, I think this card's awesome.
Like a
I would
B?
say, just to give it a B. It's just really good.
A reason to go into black. Next up is Golem Silent Shrinker. This is also 3 and a black.
Oh, it has a
This is
little
for a
weird
legendary
dragon on it.
halfling
That's
horror.
adorable.
This is common.
Yeah, he's gonna
It is
kill
a
one of my
4/3 with
guys.
menace,
Fucking kill
but it's
you.
also an adventure creature. It has Meager Meal, which is black for a sorcery adventure. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1
What is this,
target
a
creature.
fucking evil-
Target player gains 2 life.
What is this?
So this is when he
Holy
brings him to
fuck.
fish.
Yeah.
This is another one of those ones that you're almost always going to get both.
If you want to,
bounce
yeah.
it. Bounce it.
Although this one does actually target a creature.
That's fine too.
You do have to be a little careful, right?
Now?
Because
I really wish I had a black
if they kill the creature, you're
I
not.
wish you didn't take
Yeah,
my
so if you cast
fucking
this on your
box
3-drop
earlier,
and they
that
kill it
was
in
some
response to
bullshit.
it, you don't get to cast Golem. You can cast it without a target.
You can gain 2 life.
Oh no.
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this kind of reminds me of the things you were just saying about Reverent Howl, where it's okay,
I think we're fucked.
but
There's so much
neither
good-
of these cards
card
jumps
is
out as,
nuts.
you know,
Yeah.
particularly desirable. You do get both rather than one or the other, so that's a, you know, desirable,
Cheating
of
out
course.
ninja tokens. This is just.
I mean, it just kind of looks like a C or something.
Everything gets hazed.
I don't know. Maybe is meager meal
Yeah.
good? Like put a plus one
Not
plus one
really.
counter on a creature gain 2. That's not bad for just black mana for kind of free,
Alright.
right?
I think this looks like a D to me. I
Okay.
don't, it doesn't look like anything particularly special.
I'll go C minus, I guess. Maybe meager meal's better than it looks.
I mean, I guess you can get something to 4 power, and this has 4 power, so it's more of a black green card.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm still not that excited about it.
Next up is Dreaded Bat Cloud. This is 4 and a black for a 4/2 bat at uncommon. And it says this spell costs 3 less to cast if a creature died this turn, and it has flying and death touch. And if you've learned anything from what we've said, you know, this is
Not
a
a
really
good
good illustration of
hand.
that, of the removal stuff that we've been talking about. Because if you did
This
pay
is a
5 for a 2
better
toughness
hand.
creature that didn't do anything else when it entered the battlefield, you are asking
I think
for
we
it.
just
That is a disaster waiting to
try
happen.
Get rid of the
However, if you pay 2, now your opponent doesn't really have the ability to get that big mana advantage on you, and a 4/2 flying death touch is a good card. Like it's a little weird, right? Like 4
I wanna get
toughness
rid of
plus
the
death
Fairy
touch is a little bit
Seer.
redundant, but sure, you'll take
get
it.
rid
But
of
I'll tell you what is
It,
it?
it still
4
attacks for a lot
power
of damage.
flying, yeah, for 2 mana is a beater. So, you know, it's interesting because this is a good illustration of at 5 mana, absolutely not. And at 2 mana, yeah, give me that. So the question becomes, can you morbid this? And in the past, while it seems like it would not be a problem, it has been. Having something die on your turn is much more difficult than you'd think. You think, oh yeah, I'll attack, I'll trade a creature off. It
Yeah,
happens
we'll
all the
just
time.
trade. It'll happen.
Yeah, and it just for some reason doesn't happen like that. And with that in mind, I don't want to get stuck casting Dreaded Bat Cloud for 5 mana if I can help it.
Yeah.
So I'd be down on it. Not all the way. I think there's still some potential here. But, you know, I would be in the, like, D+ range for Dreaded Bat
It
Cloud.
really depends on how good your deck is at getting morbid as well.
Right.
because Some decks are better than others at it. For
That's
sure.
true. And we have seen some free sack,
if
you know,
you just sit
non-mana
here and rope
sack
on turn
outlets. So
1.
that could be a thing.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, if that's the case, then I'm definitely putting this card in my
It's
deck if I have it.
big. Like it does attack for a lot in the air. I think the back
He
cloud's
couldn't
probably
decide
like a
what
C+.
land to play, and he had to pick his favorite.
I'm going to have it a D+. I just...
Oh,
just so low on it if I ever have to pay 5 mana and my opponent's like, cool, pay 2 mana and kill it. Like, what are we doing here? Next up is great, ugly looking goblin. This is
Not a great looking goblin. I'll tell you that.
no, that
You get a ass beat.
that hyphen's doing a lot of work.
Why do we
It's
have to
5 and a black for a 4/4
red
goblin
hybrid?
soldier at uncommon. And it says
Damnation.
each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has menace.
What?
And
4
then
colors?
it is an adventure. It has a sorcery adventure called Clap
color guy?
Snap, which is 1 and a black for Amass Goblins 2. And you know that is a reasonable shortcut, right? You know, your goblin army has menace, and then maybe something else does too.
Yeah. So
Now, this
you're
card
saying
seems good.
Yeah, I mean two mana for a 2/2 that just later you just cast a 6-drop sounds pretty great.
It does.
So
It does.
that I would say it's just a great ugly looking goblin is a B.
I think so too. I think the one thing that is worth noting here as we've wrapped on black is it is pretty clear that Amass Goblins whatever is definitely not the same thing as a creature. They are tacking it on, and we've had this mechanic before, and it's played out that way. And I think it's true in this set, you know, that you should discount Amass Goblins as not, and I just get a 2/2 or a 3/3. It is worse than that. It is not bad. It's still good. It's just not as good as that.
Yeah.
Okay, a few artifacts and colorless cards, a couple of lands, and we are done. First artifact is called Giant's Boulder. It's 1 mana for an artifact at common. It says when this artifact enters, scry 2. And has 2 abilities. You can pay 1 and tap it to add a mana of any color, so it filters. Or 7 mana, tap it and sacrifice it to destroy a permanent. It's kind of funny. We've seen all of these things in different forms, and now they're just combining them and being like, well, will you play this? I mean, they're giving us something up front with Scry 2. It sits around and kind of doesn't do that much, and then late game it can blow up a permanent. Does this get it over the board? Over the line, excuse me.
I don't think so. You would really need to or
would
really
get
want to
locked
care
in
about the
naturally.
color filtering for this to be good.
Right, and we haven't seen that.
Unless
We
they
haven't
have,
seen
like, a
gold
shot.
cards
They have
that
shots, this
seem
game's
to
over.
want to. No, there's no 5-color deck here. There's no room for any of that extra stuff in these small sets.
Yeah.
It does count towards your story thing, right? It's just regular artifacts do that.
Yeah. It's an artifact, so it does work
So
for that.
maybe if you're desperate for that, I would start it off. I'd start off at a D for just a fringe play.
Not looking good, fellas.
Yeah. I think I would start off as a D. Here's the good news: if you want this card, you're probably getting it. If you're brewing up some sort of sweet 4-color deck, then I think you're going to be able to figure out a way to use that.
Next is Giants. Next card actually is Key to the Side Door. This is 1 mana, again, for an artifact and uncommon. You can pay 2 and tap it to have target creature can't be blocked this turn. It's kind of interesting. And then you can pay 1, tap it, and discard a legendary card with the same name as a legendary permanent you control. To draw 2. Is this a slap in the face? Like, on
This
one
is
hand,
them making fun of the fact that they're making common legends.
yes, it's like LOL, but maybe you could get something for it, like, because this had to have come up in playtest and feedback that like, hey, this is just happening too often, and they're like, here.
Okay, well in that case, here's
fixed
what
it.
we're gonna do about that. Okay.
That said, they did make it enticing. It's 2 cards. I mean,
No,
and you're
this
getting
card's
rid of one that's
damage.
effectively dead in your hand. It's like, wow.
I got
But
the
it's not-
Goblin deck.
It's not good, right? And we really have to focus on the first thing. Is it worth it to pay an entire card, a mana, and then 2 extra mana to make a creature unblockable? I mean, we've seen that on lands. There are times when a game plays out where that actually does end up deciding the game. The problem is that you are so much less likely to win a game where you have Key to the Side Door in your hand, and it's a card that you've played versus just another creature that could have put you over the top or kept you alive or done whatever.
That's the issue. It's
Yeah.
like, this is a luxury card. If this cantripped, you would be like all over it, right?
All over it.
If there was a way to get a card back out of it, but you
Oh,
just can't
there's a
spend
way to get a
for
card
this. It's true. There's a way to get a card back, but you're not going to like the answer.
No. I would say, can we give this the funniest build around ever?
God, we could not have just discarded. Why did I discard
How many
the
common
Damnation?
legends can you fit
of
in your
any-
deck
of
and
any
try to
game to
pop
not
off with
discard the
Key to the
Damnation?
Side Door?
Yeah, if you're really going hard, then,
Yeah. No, I think I would give it a no. I think that your win rate is just going to be.
I
low.
believe it is functionally enough.
These are very
Next up
unlucky
is
games,
well-worn
the last two.
spatula. Wow. 1 mana again for an
pretty
artifact. This one's an equipment. At common, it says when this equipment enters, you gain 2 life. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and the equip cost is 1. Actually, not that bad.
The main reason to play this is you're playing the dwarves deck and you want more equipment.
More equipment.
You want to
maybe get a
trigger your
creature up to
stuff,
4 power. Yeah, there's something here. It's kind of a funny card because of the name and stuff, but there's actually a little bit of play to this. When equipment cost is only 1, it means you can put it on something, attack with it, then put it on something to block. And that actually
We get
works.
baited
You
by
know, we
ninjas
saw that in the
again.
last set
We
with the
get
spy
baited
kit
by
and stuff. That's a
ninjas
real thing.
again.
Like moving equipment around for cheap in the mid to late game does become a thing. I would
That is
still give the
good.
well-worn spatula a
pretty
D.
good for
Like I
us.
still think it's a card that's more likely to end up on your sideboard than
I'll
not.
say it, Path to
But
Exile,
you know,
not
if you
that
put
good.
this in your deck,
I'll say it.
this is
You
not
never wanna give- I
embarrassing.
never
Like
wanna give my
this type of card
opponent
actually does
points,
some
ever.
things.
Yeah,
Like you said, though, I think you would just need a little bit of an extra reason. Like you're
it's
trying to do the
kind of
story
good.
thing,
It's
you're trying
just
to get
like
an
a
extra
really good-
equipment, or you're trying to get
Looks
to
like
4
I
power.
gotta fight my way out of this one.
Next up, this is a card you mentioned before, Dwarven Matic. It's 2 mana for an artifact equipment and uncommon. And when it enters, you attach it to a dwarf you control. What does it do? The equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has ward 1.
Ooh, excuse
And
me.
if you're not in the dwarf deck and you just need to straight up pay,
Hold on, I have an
it's
idea.
3 mana to equip.
We'll
Which,
go
you know, that's pretty expensive, but
like
+2/+2
that.
in Ward 1 is pretty good. So
Mhm.
I don't mind that.
Close
Yeah,
that
it is
out.
a good effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, at 2 to
I'm gonna
equip,
load
it
up
would be
the
too good. And
RuneScape,
at
have
3
that
to
going on
equip,
the
it's like
side as well,
just on the
have
other
all
side of like,
distractions going.
Still, I mean, again, you know, when I look at equipment, I'm looking for, well, what do I want my equipment to actually do? And this is it.
The Chrome Mox
This does
again.
fit the bill.
God, I'm such a simp for Chrome Mox.
I still
dude.
always feel like equipment's a little bit of a liability. It's also
Oh my
slow.
God.
I think if I was in the dwarves deck, I would want to play this though.
Dab is also really,
Certainly,
really
if you're in the Dwarves
good.
deck, you should always play this. This is like a builder on.
I do love
It's a builder on B, but I'll call it a
Vicious
builder on
Man is
D for
really
dwarves.
good.
Yeah.
It's,
So what about
this
outside of
card
it?
is nuts.
the
Fuck.
problem is the deck that has the payoff for equipment is also just the dwarves deck, so it's not like, oh, this is good if you're dwarves or storied, because storied and dwarves go
I'm
together.
stupid. I'm taking the
Oh,
Chrome Mox.
sure.
Would I play this outside of that? Probably not. It looks way too slow.
Okay. Next up is
Whenever
Old
dealt damage, we
Thrush, which is
add that
2
much
mana
Chainsaw's
for a
really good.
1/2 creature
Splinter's
bird
awesome.
at common. This is not an artifact, by the way. It's just colorless. It's got flying, so 2 mana, 1/2 flyer.
Affinity
When
for
this creature enters, you
artifacts.
gain 2 life. You may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, then shuffle and put that
I can't
card
stop drafting
on top.
ninjas. I can't stop drafting
Yeah, the on top
ninjas.
killed it. I saw this card earlier and I was thinking like, oh, Marshall is not gonna like this one.
Man, it was so good right up until the very end, and then it was like womp.
How do I add another scene?
Still, you're getting some material. You're
Let's do this.
gaining 2 life. Nah, no, I can't do it. I don't know. I guess it's a D for Old Thrush. Again, we haven't seen any reason, you know, why emphasizing getting like, say, an off-color land would be so
capture,
important.
yeah,
Like, we haven't even really seen
game
evidence that
capture.
splashing is good, let alone playing,
Yeah.
you know, 4 or 5 colors.
Yeah, you would really need to get some good fixing, or to have like, I know there's not life gain payoffs, but that's the sort of thing you would want for this.
Right.
As is, this looks like a D, and it looks like the kind of thing that I think is actually kind of brutal to put in a set, which is having your mana fixing be a trap is going to make it so the people who don't know better are going to think they're doing a good thing, and they're just going to lose more in a way that with Old Thrush is not actually the most apparent.
No.
That you're just down a card in the middle of the game, you know?
Yeah.
I do love the Jace. Grab 5 more cards in the graveyard for 2 with that build. Jace is pretty damn good. Hold on. I have to. Take you off screen for a sec. This is the group Iron Man that are working on with some homies. I've been on the fletching grind for all my babies. We'll just do this while all these people are taking forever to fucking pick a card. I do really like this land. There's another Nashi. What is this? A bug Nashi? We'll just take that. permanent in my graveyard, but it's a 2-mana flyer. This card won me at pre-release. Straight the fuck up. Such a good card. Why not? That's so much white that I just do not have. I have like a red card, but deals combination of plays 10 or more damage does they lose the game. I remember when this card was spoiled, people lost their fucking minds. And then it turned out that it was just for fun. I don't think this Gideon is very good, so we're not gonna take it. Ooh, Eureka right there. Where should we take Eureka? Mortified might get pitched. I hate splashing for off-color removal. For sure, that is such a good pickup for us. Radical rant. Radical rant. That's not the worst pickup ever, I think. Oh, excuse me. I love this old Final Fantasy art so much. I remember they really gave you the reins of the company, didn't they? I do love Mind Stone. 1, 2, 3. We're technically at. I don't want to play that anymore. We can add the Mind Stone. really neat. 'Cause I only have one mana flyer in the ninja deck. Would really prefer to have more. I'm also kind of whatever on some good shit in here. I just don't know if that helps me win the fucking game, you know? Whatever. We'll try it. We'll try it. If we get our ass beat again, we get our ass beat again. It's not a big deal. I gotta change this music. It's gonna drive me insane. Eventually we'll do some CG today too. Okay, we're right back. super well. Let's try that. Why in the world would I, of all people, want to do that? Absolutely not. Fighting or some shit? No. But you know, she's the mom and she does all the cooking, all the bills. You know, he is the man of the family, you know. He takes out the trash and, well, now the boys take out the trash. Oh, I can't breathe, cats are stairs. But she's just frustrated. He snores now. Like, she just needs a break. Just the same shit that I've been complaining about for the last year. I don't want to live here anymore. There's not much I can do about it. I know not working doesn't help, but I can get a big ass house and you can live on the lake. I will never live with you. Short term. No. So you don't have to be here. No thanks. You don't want to go to a hotel and just get a break from everything? You want weekends? You have to be yourself. I don't want to be in another building. I'm literally telling you, not understanding what I'm saying is frustrating. There's not much else to it, man. This was supposed to be one of your presents. See it? I found it under my bed. So now it's mine because I'm fat. I think these pants were supposed to be yours or TJ's too. But they fit me now, so. Stop assuming it's more than what I'm saying. I've been unbelievably transparent. There's nothing else going on. I have nothing to look forward to right now, and that's... You have life to look forward to. What in my life? Well, currently... That's right. It's a little dull, but... There's nothing. That's what yourself out there. There's not much I can do right now except wait for things to get rid of them. I'm on other people's time right now. I think that the most. Sometimes, but that's about it. Greg is a dick.
think one will like that. The others like you. And what? Just know that I'm here if you ever need to talk, okay?
There's nothing
I know
more.
you're stressed. I love you. Is this magic? I didn't know you could play on light, too.
himself out here as soon as he keeps this up, which I'm very cool with. Five cards left. And, I mean, I only have 8 life, but I can survive all of this right now, so. That part sucks, but that's okay. We can get a first strike, so block here. It doesn't super matter. Block here, I guess. That I can't do anything about. I think I already used my board one for the game yet. And I do Island. Oh. Good game. I wonder if I wouldn't benefit from taking the land out. gained so much life. I hate this card. I think this card is genuinely insane from that set. Like, what do you even fucking do about that? You know?
Make us another removal spell, God.
Jesus. And I'm just over here drawing fucking lands. Good game, dude. That's rough. God, bro had all the... I couldn't believe he got that dragon 3 times. That's some bullshit, bro. That is some bullshit. There's nothing in the shop I want. Just crack our packs. I need to stay away from ninjas. It's just so fun to play. When it works, it's so